Hello again, welcome back. My name is Sarah Aspinall and I'm the founder of Breaking Ballet. And over the next few days, I'm interviewing some of my Backstage members. Backstage is my monthly membership and the doors are currently open for enrollments. They're closing on Tuesday. So I would like to introduce you to Stephanie, who is one of the Backstage members, and I'm interviewing the members so that you can hear from them what their backstage experience is like. So welcome, Stephanie. Thank you for joining me.
No, welcome for the invite. And I think it's nice to get different perspectives on different people's experience.
Absolutely.
And, yes, I'm more than happy to answer all your questions.
Thank you. So can you just take us back to when you first found us? How did you find Breaking Ballet?
I found Breaking Ballet through a good old Facebook ad that popped up for me. And I'd gone through a transition last year and had retrained and become a health coach. And I wanted to keep myself accountable because I could feel myself getting drawn into reading a lot and being addicted to this whole new lifestyle that I was going to have. But I felt that part of me wasn't walking the walk. And I thought, I understand lots about fitness. You know, I've always loved dance. I did martial arts when I was young. And I really wanted to connect with something that was going to keep me accountable and educate me. So I signed up for the Sculpt and Tone challenge, Sculpt and Tone Bar Challenge in February. And I've been a Backstage member since. So I've really enjoyed my experience because it's not just like any other program. I wanted something that was going to educate me and motivate me as well. I needed more than just, this is what you do. You can have that if you want, but I wanted more out of it. And I felt that the challenge gave me a good taster of what was to come. And it was a real good preview. So that was how I sort of started off. Sorry, I've probably gone on a little bit there, but I decided that I wanted to be more of an action taker, and I've just got to do this because it's not like you're committed to 10 years of hell and damnation, you know.
I hope not.
It's really not.
During the challenge, when you discovered that there was this option to continue basically and join the membership, did you at that point have any hesitation? Because I know it's funny because actually the last few members I've interviewed were like, no, I was all in straight away. But previously when I've interviewed some of the Backstage members, they were like, well, yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't know if you were the real deal. I didn't know what to expect. Did any of that go through your mind or?
No, because I think at 50, you start to think, I felt that I had a good enough insight during the challenge. You know, it's a generous challenge. It gives you so much information and you get a feel for the community as well, the sort of women that are contributing too. And I just decided, no, this makes sense to me. I like the fact that my inbox isn't flooded with emails too, because, you know, I just can't be doing with the whole having to filter through lots and lots of messages. So it's concise, it's clear, it's guided. And I didn't have any hesitation. I really didn't, because I knew that this would work for me. And perhaps because I'm from an exercise and movement background, I just wanted to get back to myself. And I felt that you held my hand to do that, really.
Yeah, wow. That's amazing. So I love that you describe that as get back to yourself as well. And I think that's a lot of people's, women in particular, their experience. I just want to feel like me again.
Yeah, it's, you know, the majority of people in Sarah's group are women of a certain age, and that's a big pool of wisdom. You know, you probably had some other experts within Sarah's community, and she'll invite people in, other experts, to talk about various things. So there's always knowledge there, there's motivation, and there's a guide to learn how to navigate the aging process and keep yourself mobile, which is just super important, because you've got no life if you've got no mobility, really. Very limited anyway. And when it's from your own doing, by not taking action, I just think it's just such a shame. And you can start moving at any age. Any age, it doesn't matter. It's getting the body moving. And we've been hearing about people with injuries and things and how they are dealing with injuries. And it's so important to just keep that level of movement in the rest of your body, because you'll start to feel seized up, and then that contributes to feeling not good as well. So I would say that it's really, there's a lot of value. You get a lot of bang for your buck in the membership. Lots of information, and you know what, it's real life, it's relatable, it's not all hair and makeup, and we laugh at each other, we laugh at ourselves, and that's what we need. We just need more laughter and fun, and let's stop taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah, we were talking before we went live about how I think it's much easier at this age somehow. I mean, much more challenging in many ways, but easier because we can see the funny side of things and we can laugh at ourselves, which was much harder as a teenager, much harder in our 20s and even in our 30s actually. But now we can do that, and it makes life so much easier.
Oh, it was. It's older and bolder. I think older and bolder a little bit, but it's important to really. It's like I think you just suddenly want to start auditing your life and what's going to work for me, what's going to help me progress, because it's not about degeneration, it's about getting through life. I'll just tell you this briefly. I don't want to take up your whole interview here, Sarah, but I went for a cup of tea with my neighbour who's 95, and she walks every day with her little shopping trolley, a round trip of 1.5 miles to Waitrose and back. And she's just incredible. And she's sharp to talk to. There's no big pregnant pauses in what she's saying. And she has walked every day. And I thought, well, there's your example. And it's not, there's no, this is what you should be doing at 80. And it's sitting there watching daytime TV. And it's not like that. And that's not what I wanted for my life. And I wanted something that was more than just an exercise program. I've been guilty. I've sat and bought lots of shiny new programs on the internet. I've not even looked at them. I've not even really looked at them. You know, it's like $47 here for this, $50 here for that. No, it doesn't work. Just get engaged and get on with it. And we overthink things. We analyze things or we put it off. And what Sarah will teach you is about prioritizing yourself and the need for self-care. And we do. We need to prioritize ourselves. And that's my mantra, because when we're good, everyone else is good.
Yeah, it has that ripple effect, doesn't it? So when you've been in Backstage now since February, can you just walk us through what benefits you have experienced physically, emotionally, mentally, you know, whichever, what have been like your biggest wins inside Backstage, do you think?
My biggest wins was getting my mobility back, my full sort of range of motion again. I was always quite flexible as a youngster, and it's never really left me, but boy, you know, I notice a difference. I really do. And I thought I can actually start retraining my muscles back to more movement. And I love the full mobility flow that's on there. There's lots of different things that we can access that make sense to us. You can have favorites and things like that. So for me, it was about the increasing my flexibility again and feeling that sense of balance and strength, because that's what reassures me for getting older, that I've got that as in my toolkit of self-care, if you like. So that was good. And it was the engagement. It was getting the email every Sunday morning, and this is what your workouts are going to look like, and you'll have they're color coded. So if you're a beginner, you'll be guided to what's a sort of beginner's option. It was the simplicity of it that kept me coming back for more, and just the layout of things. So it fit in with the way I wanted to run my life. And it's simple. It's not overwhelmed at all, which is important, really.
Yeah.
So it was so I can't really go too deep with it, Sarah. It's just, it makes sense to me. But I would say that anyone that hasn't exercised for a long time, you're learning from the best. You are learning from the best. It's a person that's been trained in movement and ballet and strength and following a passion, and that's quite infectious and it comes across. So just give it a go. There's different membership options. But I honestly don't think you'll be disappointed. And there's a book club as well. There's a community behind all this, and that's a nice thing as well.
And talk to me about that community, because it's one thing that I think people really do underestimate. But if you are working out at home, that community becomes really important, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, look at the way life's changed over the last 20 odd months. And I honestly think that we need a balance of online and real life now. And we go out for walks, get your fresh air, but have that commitment to yourself with a community that is there. And it's people, as I say, it's people that are real life, from all different walks of life, different backgrounds. And it's interesting to see what people's own challenges are, and that there is no cut and dried fanciness about it. Everybody's just living their life and getting on and sharing their information. And I just really like the feel of it. There's nothing pretentious about it. There's nothing about it that's out of reach. It's inclusive. It's inclusive. And I think it's really important to have that feeling of I'm feeling a bit blue. Maybe I don't want to do a workout, but who's speaking in the group? Somebody might just say something and you go, do you know what? That's really bloody funny. And just cheer up, So it's one of those. It's quite difficult to articulate. It gives you a nice feel. It gives you a really nice feel.
Yeah. It is difficult to articulate. You're right. And I think there's ladies that have come into the group that have made such close friendships with others and this has been my experience as an entrepreneur as well online. I've made really, really close friendships with people I've never met in person. And that's the power of social media. There's a lot of negative things about it, but actually what's so wonderful is that you can make friends with people that are on the other side of the world. So, in our book club, we've got people getting up at 5, 6 a.m. who are in Australia to come and chat at book club. And that's lovely, having that connection and just, because we chat as well about other things, just listening to what is happening in people's lives in different parts of the world. And it just helps to put things in perspective, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I think that's the nice thing. It's the global aspect. You can be anywhere and it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And I think there's just always that nice feeling of knowing that there's someone on the other side of the world learning and observing and getting out of this program or membership rather, that what you're getting, and you spark off each other, and then those friendships grow, and it's lovely. It's got far-reaching benefits. It really has. Yeah, really has.
And what would you say to a person that's thinking, well, I really like the workouts, I'm quite interested, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to maintain this on my own at home?
I can say to you wholeheartedly, you won't feel like that. I think you won't feel like that because it's a fail-safe setup. And if it's from a financial point of view, do yourself a budget sheet. Sit down and work out what you spend on yourself that's not serving yourself, not really. And think about how you can reinvest that in yourself. Because for some people, there might be a little money block there, but it's never really about that. Do you know what it is? It's permission to invest in yourself, and don't ever deny yourself that permission. Get on and do it. And it's not, as I say, you're not tied into the Hotel California. It's not like you can never leave. You do have a life outside, but do you know what? It's a nice level of accountability. So do it. Sign up for a month, 3 months. I would say sign up for 3 months at least, because what Sarah doesn't promote is instant benefits. It's none of this big promise, big hard sell. It's about learning to get in tune with your body and watch yourself grow and develop. So give yourself, I would say, would be my personal recommendation, give yourself at least 3 months to get to know what you want, and then start really enjoying harnessing the power of taking control back, because that's what it's about. And I think women of a certain age do start to feel out of control. We start to have physiological changes in our bodies, our hormones change. We doubt ourselves more. We do. So Sarah's a really great Sherpa. She is. So get on it. Press the button. Press the button.
Where's the button? Thank you, Stephanie. That was really good advice, I think, for people to prioritize them and look at their budget and see, well, where am I actually prioritizing me in this? What am I doing? Where is my money going that is serving me and my health? I think that's a really good point.
It is. It is. I watched a thing, or sorry, it was something that it popped up on Facebook a few weeks ago, and it's a lady who used to work in a really expensive nightclub in California, and people would just spend $20 on a cocktail without thinking it. And then she made a transition into the health space, and she opened up a juice bar. And people were going, oh, I'm not paying $10 for a juice. And she said, I served them last week in the nightclub and they paid 20 quid for a cocktail. And I just thought, well, there you go. It's mindset. It's mindset. It really is. It's think about what you're spending your money on, and it's all self-investment. It is.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that wonderful advice to everyone that is listening. And if you are listening and you're interested in Backstage, but you've got questions, please do drop me a message. Feel free to ask me anything you like. No question is a silly question. And if you've got questions for Stephanie, you could probably pop them below this video as well. And she might.
Yeah, and if you do want to, if there's something you don't want to put out personally, you can always private message Sarah or me. I can help in any way that I can. So feel free to reach out. I'm cool with that.
That's really kind. Thank you so much for spending this time chatting with me. It's been lovely for me as well to chat with you. Yeah. And yeah, for everyone that's watching Backstage, the doors will close on Tuesday. So go over and take a look now and get your questions in if you have got any hesitations. But thank you so much, Steph. I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.
Good luck, everyone. Hit the button.
Yes, hit the button.